I don't think that Peter, when he really thinks about the implications of attributing moral status to embryos in the way that he attributes them to humans, is entirely going to hold to his own argument. And part of my rebuttal is this, and it's really to put to Peter a thought experiment, and indeed a point, perhaps a thought experiment for all of you to have when we think about the equality of moral status. And it's to imagine a hospital on fire, where you have one trip into the hospital to save a person. Now, there might be a ward of elderly people. There might be a ward of children. There might be a ward of pregnant women. And we might debate between ourselves which of those people we are going to save. But is any of us going to go into the IVF lab to save the Petri dish of embryos? Because I really don't think that they are. And I would put to Peter that if he is truly serious, then he might be well going into that hospital to save those embryos on the basis that he can certainly carry far more embryos out of the hospital than he can carry existing children. I'd also say that I think that the consequences of where Peter's argument take him entirely do strip away some very important rights of existing, unborn, living, thinking, moral creatures of agency, that is women, by putting them into a situation where they have no ability to exercise their own moral judgment because he has imposed his particular view of a contested moral area onto them, and that indeed in presenting the notion that we don't have bodily integrity, he's completely undermined the entire framework upon which our current medical system of consent exists. So what I really think is going on here is an attempt to basically provide an equivalence for the embryo and the fetus that will outlaw abortion, that would take away the ability for research and experimentation on embryos that would benefit humanity, for something that really provides us with no real gain for society at all. And I think that when Peter's really thinking about what he means by moral status, he needs to extend his thinking beyond perhaps the embryo and the unborn child, and think about the morality in taking away decision-making from the person who is morally closest to decisions about her pregnancy, which is the woman who is carrying it and who will live with the consequences of that decision every day of her life.